What is something that seems fun but is actually terrible? Living in a little village on a mountain. Everything's super expensive and everyone's an alcoholic. La Tomatina, massive tomato fight in a small village in Spain. 20,000 participants in a narrow street, drunk, full bladders packed like sardines. National Guard is there to monitor. They force the trucks through to drop tomatoes on you to throw at others. You will get stepped on, you'll get peed on or pee on someone, you'll have tomato in every crevice, you'll have to throw out everything you wore that day. A job that involves traveling pretty much all the time. People will be like, oh, you get to travel and visit all these new places. Yes, that and not having a stable home, hotel living, not being able to even buy a 3-pack of something, or do groceries, since you'll be traveling again next week. It gets exhausting. Edit. Job is management consulting. I've been traveling for 3.5 years now. If you're young with no big attachments, consider it. I've visited many places. I was just in the uni salt flats this weekend. I'm traveling to Ecuador for the second time next week. However, as I mentioned, it gets really exhausting. Everything you own is packed into 2 suitcases. Flying home every 3 months, 12 to 14-hour workdays with a lot of pressure. I travel with my team and my boyfriend, which is awesome to be honest. So I do get to party and visit places. How long you can handle it depends on your goals in life. At 28, I'm done with it. Luckily, I got hired by an awesome multinational company and I'm starting my new job in 2 months. So there's the bright side. Good experience, but it is exactly that. An experience, not a good lifestyle. Becoming an adult. Doesn't apply if you have money. Being a swinger. The idea of a ton of novel sex sounds great, but it doesn't really work that way. You have to spend all your time looking for people to hook up, get connected through a meetup, and get scheduled. More scheduling. Crappy sex with strangers you may or may not really find attractive. Awkward emotional stuff to work through with your partner. Oh yeah, and your partner's having sex with people you may find simply awful. In the end, it's all logistics and embarrassing situations. When I was a kid, my dad worked at the local deli in town to make some cash on the side, and I thought it was the coolest job ever. I loved walking in and seeing him work, and even though it was making sandwiches and preparing catering orders, I was always like, when I'm old enough to get a job, that's what I'm gonna do. Well, I turned 14 and the bosses offered me a job almost as soon as my birthday came around. I used to think working in a restaurant was the coolest thing in the world, until I worked in food service, and it actually is the worst thing ever. Nothing better than working long hours for minimum and being screamed at by rude and angry customers. I think what made it seem cool was just that my dad is generally calm and a happy guy, so he made working a pretty difficult job seem fun because he had such a calm demeanor about it. For that, I give him a ton of respect. Having huge breasts. Back pain, stress, clothes are harder to find, bras are hard to find in your size, and regular shirts on you make you look risque. Going to the fair. Pay to park, pay to get in, pay for rides, pay for special events, pay for overpriced food. I literally just paid $97 for my family of 5 to eat dinner and wander around. Picnics or eating outside, especially if it's windy. If it's not windy, then there's always bugs. I'm gonna get hate for this, but going to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The idea of it is terrific, and it's certainly an adventure. But I went when I was 19, and it was incredibly chaotic and overwhelming. I had college friends who continued to go every year, but once was definitely enough for me. Edit. I'm getting some flack for the fact that I was only 19 when I went, but trust me, this did not matter in New Orleans back in 2000. I looked about 15 and I still got served everywhere I went, without getting carded. Me not having fun had nothing to do with whether or not I was sober. Renting a paddle boat. You see them sitting there and think, oh, it'd be nice to go out in the water. But you quickly realize that it's a very different way to power a boat, and you just return to the dock in 20 minutes after you set off. Attending an NFL game. Crazy expensive tickets and food. Even crazier expensive beer. Crazy traffic to or from the game. You spend a lot of time watching players just standing around during the overwhelming amount of TV timeouts. You're really far away from the field. High likelihood of being seated near one or more violent drunkards. When you need to take a leak, you either need to miss part of the game or go at halftime and wait on a long-ass line. Wait for hours to leave the parking lot after the game. The weather's probably crap. The NFL's dirty little secret is that the game day experience is total crap compared to grilling up some food at your house, cracking open a bunch of good beer, and watching with your friends on your big screen TV. Being a stay-at-home fan with friends and shared food or drink is better in every way. Being a video game QA tester. I've had a handful of people aspiring to be video game testers, thinking that testing games as in playing them, and I mean games only, all the time is a quick and easy way to make your hobby your job while making money in the process. The reality is much different and not nearly as fun as one may think. You'll be playing the same boring part in a game over and over and over again, let alone the game might not be even that good to begin with. Waking up to a blowjob. I thought I would enjoy it, but it was the worst experience I've ever had. I'll tell you one thing though, I will never fall asleep on a park bench with my mouth open again. You had me in the first half, not gonna lie. Meeting up with people from work on the weekends. Not when your boss owns a giant fishing boat. Surprise parties. I told my mom when I was 14 that I never wanted a surprise birthday party. When I turned 17, I guess she thought I wasn't serious. She invited the most random assortment of people ever, and it was awful. Also, surprises in general kinda suck. I enjoy the anticipation leading up to a fun event. Being in bed all day. Maybe fun once in a while, not when it's every day. Chronic illness. Hell, it's not even fun for me one day really. You start thinking it's awesome, but by the end of the night, you just feel terrible physically from lazing around. You're tired despite doing nothing. You feel unattractive with bedhead and nasty clothes from the other night. You have to eat in bed, which can be a pain. You get bored pretty quickly, and you just feel stupidly unproductive. And isolated too, if you're stuck in a bedroom alone all day. Having a one-night stand. Don't know if it's just me. I feel dirty afterwards and sort of hollow, like I get nothing from it after the deed with my post-nut clarity. Don't worry, you're not alone. Waking up beside someone you don't love just isn't really fun. I love the cuddly mornings with bad breath kisses. I just can't do with a one-night stand. Getting blackout drunk. Having to bug your friends by asking so many questions about what you did, waking up, having no idea what day it is and time it is, where the heck you're at, and only can remember puking your guts out. And the awful hangover. Never again. Only on my 21st. Drinking and partying at bars and clubs. I go hard at a bar once a year, on my birthday, when all I want is for my friends to make sure I won't wander too far. I usually have a great effing time dancing, socializing, and probably making an idiot of myself at karaoke. I wake up the next day feeling like crap every time, and that's all I need to remind myself why I don't drink. I'm probably going to be argued with, but being an artist or art major, imagine this. You get to create a lot of shit. There's a fictional world at your fingertips. Sounds nice, right? Well, then imagine someone named Bethany goes and reposts, without any credit by the way, your work on her Insta to promote her crappy MLM, who is just about as annoying as some elder bitch named Shannon, who effing gives out raisins and pencils, if you're lucky, peppermints, on goddamn Halloween. And no matter how much you tell to put it down, she won't. Because what are you gonna do? Ooh, report me? Well, that just proves how much of a widow bitch you are. You really worked hard on it, just a shitty drawing. I could do that with my eyes closed. Do it yourself then, Bethany, you fat middle-aged bitch. Or you're gonna get a little stressed. Reasonable, right? Every career includes stress once in a while. Well, just as you think, this some bastard named Cletus Hubert Jr. busts through your wall, completely busting it down with his huge-ass beer belly, and he cries like that of an eagle, letting his patriotic pride sink in like the feeling of your impending doom. Oh, you think you're stressed? Well, I shoved a cactus up my ass while I motorboated shredded wood. But no, I don't deserve to be stressed because some art major is. So let me fix you up a nice cup of water to relieve your nerves, you little bitch. Hello, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Edit. Hello again. I see some people worrying if the Bethany situation is real, and fortunately I can say no. Well, not anymore. Shopping for myself. I get all pumped up. Then I get there, or to the website, in about 10 minutes, I'm done. I envy, kind of, those other women who can go to the store, picking out crap, then try it on, making a purchase, but it's just exhausting to me. I rarely buy clothes for myself, but it's not because I don't care about my appearance. I just genuinely hate shopping. My mom and sisters are like shopping pros. Loads of shoes, clothes, and I'm still wearing flip-flops I bought from Walmart 3 years ago for $8. I'm trying to get myself to buy a couple of things a year for myself to maybe get into it. Oh, even my mom and sister have offered to buy me something online, and I declined because I don't want to look at Kohl's to purchase their clearance crap. No thank you. I take care of my clothes and my shoes. It's not like I'm walking around looking like a ragamuffin. And I like t-shirts, jeans kind of look, so I look lazy, not crazy, even if I am crazy. Adult life. When I was a kid, I thought being older, driving, doing my own thing, etc. would be so much fun. Now, I'm just tired and dread getting out of bed in the morning for my 2-hour commute to class. Granted, there are bright sides like the freedom, my fiance, etc., but it's not nearly as awesome as I thought it would be when I was a kid. Doing nothing at work all day and goofing off. No, that's horrendous and drives you insane. I'd rather be stressed to the point of blowing up and having too much to do, over having nothing to do at all. Music festivals. They're hot, crowded, the lines are long for both drinks and the bathroom, aka porta potties, another strike. So you actually spend like half your time in one line or the other while you remember you paid a couple $100s to do this. Also, because it's so crowded, you can't really even go from stage to stage, completely defeating the purpose of having all those acts in one place. If you want to see the headliner, you have to camp out at that stage all day. If you genuinely want to hear a bunch of bands, music festivals are not the place for it. In reality, the bands are just background music for people who want Instagram pictures of them in their flowers crown. Driving around in LA, not like the movies. Seeing stars, iconic views, it's filled with trash, homeless people, and gridlock. I hear you, man. I have lived in Los Angeles all my life, and my favorite mode of travel in the city is walking. Just walking while listening to music, and then catching some lunch at a new place I discover. Absolutely love it. There's so much in this city to discover. In a car, you have to deal with traffic, finding parking, and can't have any booze. A mix of the train, Uber, and walking is, in my opinion, the best way to enjoy the city. Just my 2 cents. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and write in the comments what's something that seems fun but is actually terrible.